A couple seconds later. Welcome everybody to Echo Chamber. I feel like we need the echo chamber. Anyway, the session in between. Yeah, oh, I like it. The session in between sessions. So in this session, we will be discussing the amazing layer that we were
Amazing.
just in. I can't take credit. That was all E. Amazing layer. I liked it. I like the title of the episode. I give you props. Like mine would have been something, some other silly pun, but I really like that pun, so I'm going with it. This past session, we did make our way through a
Take your way.
portion of the maze, make my way through a maze, and a Minotaur attacked a couple of us, right? It attacked at least one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's start with that. Siddle and Reed were in the back when it happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when description of the wall melting, I was
Yeah.
confused. I was like, "What the heck?" Like I expect, the labyrinth, like certain passages. I was waiting for like two of us to get like
hmm
disconnected or something. I'm hopefully Garrett's not watching this so that he doesn't catch on to that. But when the wall melted, the Minotaur comes out. I feel like Siddle and Reed were like, "Oh shit."
uh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, man. I was so Garrett had mentioned a while back that he was gonna throw like an Escher-esque dungeon at us at some point. I really figured that it was gonna be like, oh yeah, no, you're back in the first room, or
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, this one does seem to like wind around because if we hadn't taken that final left and we gone right, we would have been back in the beginning.
yep.
hmm
So I don't know
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we how like layout wise if that changes again or what happens there, but no, I just felt like that Minotaur because Reed and Siddle are both like I'm gonna sit in the back or I'm gonna be stealthy. All of a sudden there was like, nope, not this time. So I was waiting for like that big hit to like knock one of them down right off the bat and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It, and this Minotaur is not our. I don't think your typical Minotaur. So I mean, it can shape through walls and stuff. That
Sounds a little
sounds a little
magical.
homebrewy,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Um, or maybe it's the labyrinth itself. Who knows? But
hmm
I I don't know. I just feel like it would have been scary for Siddle to not have that front line of Grizz and Amruk and Adrin, and it just I gotta give Garrett props for that isolation. That the way
hmm
he like, oh it's back here, oh there's more up here, and like ping ponged us back and forth just to get where he
Yeah.
wanted. So I'll
Yeah.
give him that manipulation prop right there, G.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah.
couple of go ahead.
I was gonna say it makes me a little bit nervous. Not as nervous as it once would have. Now that I've got mage armor and like an actually reasonable AC. I mean, it's only going to take one time me getting knocked on my ass for me to be like, okay, nope, never mind. I've lost my newfound confidence, but
Yeah.
right now I'm maybe on that line of cockiness with it. But
I mean, I got a 16 AC, and if you look at the stats, I have taken a shit ton of damage. So, and I have a shit ton of health. So I don't know,
yeah.
Siddle. Like that one might you might want to just hang back.
Oh, I never
Yeah.
said it
Really.
was a founded amount of cockiness, just that I have that cockiness. There's no basis for it other than, well, fuck it. My AC is 15 now, so yeah, 3 points higher than it was. Great. What are the odds I get killed?
Yeah. Reed has the mobile feat, so Reed would have left your ass. That's all I'm saying.
I do now have Misty Steps, so
Oh,
That's big.
nice. Nice. Yeah.
That's big.
Okay. So, is that your point in Warlock you get that or what how do you
that
get that?
one that
That,
one is Wizard as well, isn't it? Or did I
that's a
fuck up
wizard
my?
spell. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
you got me second guessing myself, but yeah,
All
No, I'm
right.
pretty sure that's a wizard spell too. Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, I took
Okay.
yeah, okay, available to Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard, okay, and
Yeah.
then certain oaths of Paladin.
Paladin. Yeah.
Yeah, I took this level up. I took a few lower level spells that I probably should have taken sooner.
Mm.
Yeah. So then the other things we were fighting, they were Minotaur skeletons as well. I thought that was kind of interesting, and honestly, throughout the labyrinth, I thought we were just fighting the same one over and over. You know what I mean? That's why I checked the horns there at the
Oh,
end.
yeah. I did hear you say that. Yeah, checking the horns because
Yeah, I didn't know if
took
it
the.
was
Yeah.
resurrecting. Like we literally walked past the one that then appeared. So I don't know if it's what the trigger is to get it to go and that type of stuff, or
Mhm.
is it like they're actually stalking us the whole time?
Yeah, or is it like the Minotaur and they can freely move through the walls? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's
it's
cool.
definitely
I like it.
interesting. And I also feel like we have to talk about the last part, to take the ruby or not to take the ruby.
Oh my god.
At least two of the party were not going to pass that up. Like, and Garrett was banking on that. And the fact that they almost did, I'm sure Garrett was like, son of a bitch, you guys. Oh.
Actually, I don't know. I know for sure one player wanted to take the ruby. I think the other one's a little bit more cautious than you would think.
Yeah. I also don't think he would have sleight of handed it into his pocket in front of all of us. He would have sleight of handed it in his pocket while we weren't looking. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So how do you think Adrian feels about watching Warwick take the gem and put it in his pocket without question? Adrian probably doesn't care, right?
He don't care. He don't care.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that's probably not a good thing, as in that looks suspicious. But as for the monetary value, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty cool, and I kind of want my next character to be like that, just not care about, you know, value of
You know,
things.
it's kind of funny. Is in a way it's kind of hard because I want to like check. Eric wants to like check everything out and pocket as much as he possibly can, but the character is definitely not that way.
I find myself in the same battle. I don't know how you feel, Rusty. So is Siddle? I don't want to say money hungry because that's not the way I feel, but it's almost like you want to find as much as you can in preparation to then further.
Mm,
Yeah, I think that my character's whole bit is just seeking of knowledge. So like, if there's a stone that's got some, ancient runes or something that I might think are interesting and want to study them, whatever, that I'd be much more motivated than for, gems or whatever.
yeah.
I think
I guess Adrian's point is he's more interested in kind of on those lines, but information, but
yeah.
items that will help the group. That's what his thing.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. It's just interesting to because then not only when so we feel a certain way and then we have to figure out how the characters would deal with it, but then when something like that happens, another character pocketing an item that could potentially help the party and they're using it to help themselves, then you have to almost like figure out how
Yeah,
your character would react to that as well. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's
we to this day the characters don't know about Reed. Obviously, we do. So we haven't had to figure out how our characters would act about that dynamic, and now we kind of you know
mm,
what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know, but also one more thing, then we'll go off topic and then we'll jump into the other stuff. The cloud of gas from the sarcophagus. Do we know what that was?
I
Could
my
just
gut.
been. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm probably going to say the exact same thing you were going to say. Is I think that was the DM screwing with us a little bit. Us thinking, we're going to get poisoned or something like that. When in reality, it was just like, yeah, this thing hasn't been opened in, hundreds of years, so it's just dusty as shit. We disturbed it.
Or it could have been some kind of a mold. Yeah,
Yeah, but he didn't
that's
make any Constitution saves, so that's why
mm-mm,
I was a little confused there. Maybe he rolled them himself. We don't know. But
right.
so alternate theory. What if it was some sort of hallucinogenic, right? Tell me that wouldn't be a cool twist. We're all just hallucinating this maze and just can't find our way out because of it.
Is this another tinfoil thing?
Oh, for sure, for sure. This is yeah, um, yeah. I'm a
Tinfoil hat.
I'm gonna start my own theory channel called Carl's Corner. Uh,
I like it.
yeah, we just talk about different theories and just sit like this the whole time. Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to jump off topic. So two things we talked about, kind of in session, kind of out of session, but just posing to the group. The first one was a little bit more low key. It was about DM inspiration, and I kind of want to hear from you, Eric, or you, Rusty, having run a session as well as having other session or being part of another session. Uh, DM inspiration, I feel, is a little underrated, and I didn't even think about it until actually Alexandria Unlimited, right? Or Exandria Unlimited, excuse me. Because DM
She
inspiration
uses
came out all the time there,
all the
right?
time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it kind of got me thinking, like, what do you give it for? What do you use it for? Like all that type of stuff. And then there's so much you can give it for. And so I just threw out there about the DM inspiration going to everybody who was on time as just a talking piece. But have you,
Mhm.
Eric, had any other things that it has been given for that are kind of
You know,
cool?
I honestly forget about DM inspiration. It's kind of a new thing. It's kind of a. I'm trying to think if they had it in 40, but it's not something I use in the past very often. Oh, come on. Sorry, they scored. Buffalo scored. Which completely derailed my train of thought. Anyway, um, what I have done in the past is given bonus XP for good role playing. If a player comes up with a
Okay.
really cool idea, um, playing their character right. We actually had a sheet of bonus XP for players on time. Player has and it wasn't like a lot. It was like like 25 extra XP for player just showing up, or 100 XP, or whatever. So uh, I personally don't. I intend to use it, but I always forget about it.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those habit things, right? Like you have
Hmm.
to like build the habit of using it. But
Yeah.
so I was just curious. What about you, Rusty? In your other session, do you guys utilize it much, or?
Not really. I actually don't. So we've got kind of two different campaigns we go back and forth on. And neither of the DMs really use it at all. Um, not that I can remember. Uh, Garrett definitely uses it more. I know that like I got inspiration a while ago because I have that marked off on my character sheet, but it's long since expired because it only goes to like the next in-game day, right?
Yeah.
And completely forgot I had it. So
Right. So I guess that's a double habit. That is the habit for the DM to give out,
Hmm.
and the habit for the player to use. I did also hear another thing where the DM would assign somebody to give out inspiration for X list of items. And I thought that was kind of cool, but there has to be some sort of checks and balances there, so that's not
Yeah, yeah,
abused.
yeah.
like I'm almost wondering like if I'm almost thinking like if I were running a game, like all right, one person, at the end of the session of each session, I figure out okay, one person is going to get inspiration next go round. Like basically just have one that I'm giving out each time,
Right.
just to try and kind of make it a regular, regularly used thing.
Yeah, I wonder how that would go if you start to make it regular, if you'd start to like notice things more and give it out a couple more times.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Kind of make a habit out of it, and all right, one person gets it, so oh hey, so and so hadn't been here for a few sessions, and they were finally back, and like okay, yeah, great, they get inspiration next time. But
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Okay. And then the other thing we talked about is probably one of my favorites, is the idea that the DM would roll death saving throws. And like we just talked about, that would completely have changed some people's actions in previous battles. And I think that that's
Oh yeah,
freaking cool. Like
mm-hmm.
yeah,
that person that can heal no longer does the damage and hopes for not a nat one on your next save. You know what I mean? Can't do
yeah,
that
right,
anymore. Yeah.
yeah,
So I just think it would be cool. Eric, you started to say before the session about the DM actually rolling for like other people's stealths and stuff like that. And
yeah.
what I was going
The
to say, go ahead.
the only thing about that is it kind of takes away some of the fun for the player. So it's it puts the onus back on the player to not know what you rolled and just go, I think I'm stealth. I'm hidden. I think I'm hidden. You know,
Yeah,
even even if you rolled a 5, I'm hidden. Can't see me.
you can't see me. Yeah, for sure, I agree with that. But it also puts on the other players, like
Mhm.
Warwick, not knowing Althea rolled low on her perception check. Would Warwick just trust? Okay, she's checking for traps. She's doing her thing up
Yeah.
there. Or would
Right.
Warwick
Right.
go up there and side by
Go on.
side her?
You know. Yeah.
Maybe you do
Right.
something in the middle then, and we do checks. And this doesn't work as well for an in-person session, but you do checks privately to the DM.
That's what
Mm.
I was gonna say. But
Yeah.
some of us don't have the best poker face, so I think we would all know it anyway, right? Like as soon as you rolled nat one, we'd be staring at you. Okay, you rolled nat one. No, you know.
That's a fair point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, if we were just voice, you might be able to get away with it, but on
Yeah.
camera,
Yeah.
nah. You're gonna be able
No.
to tell. I don't know. I like it either way. I
Mhm.
threw it out there for death saves just because I think Garrett that doesn't put too much on him to roll.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it creates more suspense and really a sense of urgency when someone goes down.
Urgency. Hmm.
Like you
Hmm.
got to get to them. Like now, like there's a little bit of sense of
Of,
urgency, but at
yeah.
this point, now that kicks it up a notch. You know.
I'm probably going to cast my healing word that next round, as opposed to, oh, they made their first save, they're okay, sort of thing. You know, I'll hold it for next round. You know,
Right.
as
Right.
opposed to, oh shit, he could have rolled a 1. They might be dead next turn. I don't know. I'm
Hmm.
casting healing word, or I'm
Exactly.
going to
Or
heal. Yeah.
Adrin's down two. Now I got to get a potion to him immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess it could be a little cumbersome if multiple people are going down throughout
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
battle, but I think it's
But
still
it
awesome.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember our last death save. Was it
It's been a little bit.
was it Althea or was
I
it?
think it was Siddle actually. I think Siddle went
Yeah, yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We haven't had a lot of, and this is a very knock on wood thing. We haven't had a lot of death saves rolled in this campaign.
Not since what was it, Grudhog? No.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we that's where that
yeah,
was where we were like we're not as big shit as we think we are. Like that
yeah, yeah,
that was a DM stats check.
yeah, yeah. A little hip check there.
For sure. That was like, oh, damn. All right. We can't take on everything.
Nah.
Um, and then we built ourselves back up to a dragon, And so
Yeah.
now we're top shit again, and we'll see what happens.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you guys want, I'll go take on that ancient red dragon. Not Arid. I forget what his name was. Uh-oh. There he
Oh,
is.
there's she.
He,
Boys and girls, how are you?
welcome, welcome. Glad to have you
What's going
here.
on there, Garrett?
You
I
just came in on the tail end of us talking about DM rolling death saving throws. You got to give us your take on it.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna defer to your DM. I'm sure he's brilliant and handsome and and everything else. So whatever he says goes.
1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna keep me up tonight. Wondering which one it is.
Uh,
Anyways, what about death saves? Were we talking about?
about the DM rolling them privately.
Oh.
I
I'll
think
admit, I'm torn, gentlemen.
I think my vote's for yay. I think Eric's vote's
Mhm.
for yay. I got Rusty is 50-50, but we'll see.
So we got 2 yays and a 50-50.
Yeah,
So far.
I think my biggest concern is just it being too much crap for you to have to manage.
Oh, I said it's a click of a button, so I'm not too worried, and your sheet takes care of it all. I typically record your death saving throws anyways, just for reference point, because I need to know where you're at if I'm going to
Mhm.
attack you or anything else. I don't want to accidentally super kill you. No, accidental perma kills are generally a bad thing.
Yeah, so
Agreed.
let's talk about
No,
that for a minute.
I mean, it's based on the intelligence of the monster, right?
I was just going to say the same
Yep.
exact thing, right? Like you got this intelligent bandit and he just took you down. He's going to try and finish you off before moving on to the next, right?
Yeah.
Whereas,
Potentially,
if you
depending
got
on
this
what it was.
bugbear, he
Are
might
you, are
let you
you
go.
Yeah, are you in his way? Is he trying to get somewhere and he just needed to knock you down? Does he have a vendetta against you? I try to take care of all of that, but the thing that worries me is the accidental perma kill from the narrative standpoint. Like, all right, that's by the way, I just rolled another death saving throw, or I stab you again, and you're like, that's it, we're done, I'm dead, I'm perma dead. I want to make sure if it means something. You guys have been so bonded to these characters that if I don't build it up a little bit, it's kind of a anticlimactic death. So I've got to make sure I keep an eye on it for that reason.
Are there any anticlimactic deaths at this point? Since we're all so invested, I feel like they're
Yeah,
all any death
they
at
would
this
all
point,
be.
accidental or not, it's going to hit hard, and it's
Yeah.
going to serve a purpose. It's going to be,
Oh yeah.
yeah, for sure, that like we just talked about the Grudhog hip check that we got, and I think a death is the next step. That like that's going to be like a holy shit, we can't fight like this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's very true. I just want to make sure I give it the narrative. What's the uh, narrative spin, narrative weight that it should have
Hmm.
whenever the time comes that it happens. In the description.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I
That,
mean,
that
Yeah.
that's the reason I
I get
keep
that.
track of it. Let me put it that way. So I really try to make sure I'm not missing out.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're just assholes, Eric. We would have killed people.
Yeah. I have no qualms of if you're unconscious and there's a monster over top of you, it's a good chance it's going to attack you.
Right, and I think that so that coupled with the DM rolling the saving throws creates such a sense of urgency that like
Hmm.
you can't pay for. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, he's right over top. I gotta get there. Like there's no
Yeah.
question on what I should do. There's no question on kick the rope. It is go there and get them healed.
Yeah, all hands on deck. This is priority now.
Yeah,
Fuck the
Yeah.
fight. That guy's gonna die.
exactly. I don't
Gentlemen,
know.
I'm sold. Yes,
I
I'm rolling your death saving throws moving forward. You talked me into it, and now I'm excited about it.
I
Well,
I
you missed the previous comment that I made was I know of DMs that pretty much roll everything. So, which the drawback is it takes away from the player not being able to roll. But for instance, stealth, right? If
Yep.
I roll a six, if I roll a six, if I Eric rolls a 16, I'm like, okay, I know I'm probably pretty stealth, right? But
Makes sense.
if I don't know that number, I have no idea. I have no idea if I'm stealth. I could be invisible practically, or I can look like I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, right? But again, it takes away a little bit from the player. But that's like I said earlier, is that the player has to take that into consideration. That
yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing good or not.
No, I like that, and that makes sense. I do try to be cognizant of the amount of things that I take away from the player only because we have so many players and there's so much time between battle and effort. I mean, you guys have already limited your time a little bit. I want you to be full participants across the board. So, it's those little things that I don't want to take more away from you if it's going to hinder your game, your gameplay. But I do like the death saving throws just because that one creates such tension. Stealth affects the game a little bit, but the death saving is huge.
Right.
How does that affect Griswold? Warwick goes down in the last session? 2 sessions ago. Two sessions ago, right? Yeah, I mean,
Did he
Grizz
go down,
decides
or
to
was
just
he
go past.
just
He's okay.
charmed? He was just charmed, right?
You're right. Thank you. That's the one I was thinking of. Okay. Yeah, there was another one, though,
same
that
idea,
someone,
same idea.
a couple sessions ago that someone decided to.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same idea. Like, I know what's going on here. Do I knock him out of it, or just go try and attack? So.
Yeah.
A little less urgency, but same idea. By the way, Ashley says she is perfectly trusting of you and would be happy to let you roll whatever you choose for her.
Oh man, she's such a great sister. I can't say enough good things about her, and clearly she can't say enough good things about me.
Even if she said the exact opposite in chat, I would have still told you the same thing, just so you know.
Well, now I gotta go over and look at the chat because.
I can tell you I do not. I know exactly what it says.
Yeah, no, I just think that those death saving rules, it's a different dynamic. And we talked a little bit about, putting it on the player to, like Eric said, to be able to make their own decision. Oh crap, I rolled a 5, but I still don't know if I'm stealthy. And some of that I feel does come into play because you're either running off a passive perception or you're rolling for perception on the creatures. So when it gets in those in between areas, 14 to 17, you're not quite sure. You think you are okay, but you're not quite sure. So you probably play those, but when you roll really low, I'm not fooling anybody.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Do a little bit more acting at that point.
And I guess I try to throw you off a little, not throw you off, make the intrigue with not did they see me, but who saw me and what are the repercussions of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What were you going to say there, Rusty?
I was going to say that, oh gosh. I lost it. Never mind.
All right. It's all right. We're coming to you anyway because we are about to do Siddle's Compendium of Magical Artifacts.
Skoma time.
Also known as Magic Item of the Week.
So I went over this already, but I have to share it with you, Garrett, now that you're here. I had 2 separate items that popped up on my randomized spreadsheet.
Yeah.
That were they sounded incredibly so I looked at the source, they're like Storm King's Thunder, and read like the first 4 words, was like, oh no, I can't do this one. This sounds entirely too important to the plot. So.
Okay, there's a few of them out there. I like it though. Yeah, nothing's gonna give it away, but yeah, sure. I appreciate your consideration there.
So anyway, the first one we have up here is Wingwear. This is from Princes of the Apocalypse. Wondrous item. It is uncommon and requires attunement. This snug uniform has symbols of air stitched into it and leathery flaps that stretch along the arms, waist, and legs to create wings for gliding. A suit of Wingwear has 3 charges. While you wear the suit, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 charge to gain a flying speed of 30 feet until you land. At the end of each of your turn, the altitude drops by 5 feet. Your altitude drops instantly to 0 feet at the end of your turn if you didn't fly at least 30 feet horizontally on that turn. So you are truly gliding. You have to remain in motion in the air. When your altitude drops to 0 feet, you land or fall, and you must expend another charge to use the suit again. The suit regains all of its expended charges after spending at least 1 hour in an elemental air node.
What's an elemental air node?
I have no idea.
So, in POTA, Princes of the Apocalypse, That's me, Ashley. Anyway, it is. It was so it's. Give you a short synopsis here. So it is a clash of the four elements, right? And there's actually a dungeon crawl for each of the elementals, and there's a node of air, which is just like a dungeon of the air cultists, if you will. So, the heck. So when I ran this campaign with my other group, we are all big Bugs Bunny fans. And when this suit came up, I don't know if you guys remember in the Coyote and the Roadrunner, there was one where the Coyote it's called the Batman suit, and he looks like he's a bat, and it's like this, like, I'll have to find it for you, but he's trying to, Wile E. Coyote, of course, is trying to fly with this suit, and it's hilarious. So every time I hear that, that's what I think of, is Wile E. Coyote in a Batman suit.
See, I didn't listen to the first part of the description because I was thinking, does Rusty have a lisp? Is he saying ring or wing?
Oh,
What else you got?
all right. Next one up is the Charlatans Die, which this one would be fantastic for.
I
Any
assume
of
you're
our-
laughing at the lisp there.
I am. What came to mind? Sorry to interrupt there, Rusty. I just suddenly thought the next store that you go to, that the salesman is going to have a lisp, and you're going to be sold a wing. The question is, what are you buying?
Hey, I told you about the salesman with the lisp and that sells horses.
You did.
Yeah. Instead of trot. Think about it.
We went there.
P.S. with the Wingwear, imagine Grizz in some Wingwear.
Oh my god.
A flying Goliath. I just picture a flying Goliath. That's all.
I'm gonna cast Fly on him just to watch a flying Goliath.
It'd be kind of funny, right?
I picture this big Goliath throwing out, JD from Scrubs, Eagle, every time he leaps into the air to glide.
Yeah. Sorry, Rusty. Go ahead.
No worries. Next one up is the Charlatans Die from Xanathars. Common wondrous item, requires attunement. Whenever you roll this 6-sided die, you can control which number it rolls. Could you imagine, like, Reed rushing a fucking table at a gambling hall just using a cheat die? Because it doesn't
Yes.
mention that you have to, like, do any hand motions or anything like that to change the roll or to whatever control where it's weighted to. But
Interesting.
It would be, and it would be Reed that would use it. Although I am a little disappointed he still has yet to use the Deck of Illusions.
I know he's readied it a few times now.
Yeah, he's ready it a couple times, but
yeah, I'm ready for it every time, and then I don't know, I'm waiting for it. I don't know what anybody else. Maybe Warwick. Warwick would be the other one that uses that die.
hey, if I roll a 6, you got to give me your house.
Exactly.
All right, and then last up is a relatively boring one. Armor of Gleaming. It's essentially a suit of armor that has been Scotch guarded. So, Armor of Gleaming was a magically enchanted armor that was always spotlessly clean. Basically, your shit can't get dirty.
You should have definitely given that to Evan when Fohammer made him his armor.
Oh yeah.
I know. I didn't know about this one. Although I feel like it goes really well with Warwick's Cloak of Billowing.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining him as like Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of a weird one because it's just like it's like
Completely
constant
useless.
prestidigitation on your armor, right?
Investigation. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
yeah, yeah.
It's an you're Scotch guarding armor. Like that's it. You know, you
Yeah,
buy a
yeah.
sofa that's Scotch guarded. It claims you could spill a glass of wine on it. It's not going to stain. That's all this is.
I think if one of us had it, the others would constantly throw stuff at them just to watch it not stick.
Just hmm
Oh, absolutely.
They push them down in the mud just to watch you like.
I keep forgetting I have the Technicolor Dreamcoat
Mhm.
cloak.
Yeah. So
That you do.
with that, do you use it more for stealth purposes, or do you use it based on mood? Like,
It's,
what does Adrin use that for?
yeah, I guess it'd probably be more like a mood ring. Oh, definitely a mood for Adrin. It'd be a mood ring.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking. Like, I'm
yeah,
feeling like in a good mood tonight. My cloak's showing red.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right, boys. You know what time it is. It's time. If you don't have your volume turned it up, turn your volume up right now
Oh,
because it's
hold,
time for the
hold on,
stats
hold
chat.
on, hold on, hold
Uh-oh.
on. I
There's
want
no
to
stopping this train.
I want to
There is
unmute this.
no
There we go.
holding on this train.
All right.
Stats chat. Stats chat.
Hold on. I gotta.
Do you want me to
Oh,
play it
the
again?
auto tune's incredible.
No, 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 don't. I'm catching up here on Twitch. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So we'll jump into stats chat. I've been looking at this for past hour or so. Good stuff. We're gonna start off with the funnel chart I like to do every time. Just kind of looking at that damage done and damage taken this past session. Griswold's still up there taking the most damage. Surprise. Eric must have just caught up.
That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Okay, okay, okay.
Little auto tune goes a long way. That's all I'm just gonna say. And then Adrin stepping up and taking or doing the second most damage. I thought that was pretty cool. Like Adrin using his newfound monk, jumping in there
hmm
and doing a shit ton of damage alongside of Griswold. So I don't know if it was positioning or what it was, but nice job, Adrin. Uh, won't talk about the rest. I mean, it's pretty even across the board for the rest. If we look at the being attacked by, um, still the two frontliners, and Adrin didn't take any damage. I didn't realize that until I started looking at this. Adrin was smacking people with his stick and didn't take any
hmm
damage. And just to take one step back, uh, Griswold doing the most damage also was the only one of us to crit twice, and Cocky Evan wasn't even there. I just
I
want to point
know,
that out.
right?
Like
Yeah.
craziness, positioning, like just being able to smack people last time. I don't know what's going on at this point. Like that is a complete 180 from the typical. This one, the taking damage, pretty much the same, pretty much standard. But then this one was different because Amrook's not at the top at all in this one. I will say I love the one-on-one battles because it does limit Siddle's
Mhm.
overall damage and allows me to catch up a little bit.
He's just
That's what
after
I was
my
really
seat.
going for there.
I figured. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Rusty?
I said, you're just after my seat at the top.
You know what? I want this seat at the top, but not the number of times fallen seat at the top. So we'll see. We'll see as we get a little deeper which one and which one of us takes that. Uh, so I am catching up. Amrook's catching up, and I just wanted to look at this because as you guys know, I play League of Legends, and I was watching a coaching session the other day, and the coach after the session was like, okay, look at the charts. How much damage did you take and how much damage did you give? Because those are the two things that define how much space you take up, how detrimental you are to the group. So I was kind of bouncing back and forth between the amount of damage taken along with the attacking and trying to gauge, okay, where are people on this? Like, so I know, are they glass cannons and we really have to protect them, or do they just put out a shit ton of damage and take a shit ton of damage? You know what I mean? So I really liked looking at this and seeing Griswold obviously at the top of being attacked by and having the highest dodge percentage, but then you flip it over, he's in the middle there. So I think if he gets that damage up, that is, like, Griswold will be at the top. Amrook is at the top in both, so I'm happy about that. And then I looked at like Siddle and Adrin. So Siddle's damage taken is not as much, so he's definitely more of the glass cannon, which I mean you kind of knew. And then I see a slight change here with Adrin. He seems to be like right in the middle with Amrook, but he seems to be climbing for some reason. I don't know. Could just be me. If we go back to last encounter, I also want to say Adrin 2 kills.
Yep.
I feel like we just talked about Adrin not finishing people off last week, and then all
Yeah,
of a
yeah,
sudden you
that's
come out with double kills.
Yeah. 2 kills. Yeah.
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 Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then I did think of one more stat, Eric, that we could throw out there. Average number of attacks per encounter. So that would be an easy measure in Power BI, but I think it would be cool so that you get the average number of attacks, and then that kind of corresponds to that fighting style trend. So you could figure out,
Yeah,
is my attacks going up and down along with my damage, or what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing it out there. Always got to look at the damage overview since Siddle's in the lead now. I have noticed his average damage has gone up a crazy amount. If you start to go through here and select certain episodes and stuff like that, you can see it kind of change. And one of the visuals I want to play with actually deals with that. So there's a visual that has a play button on it and can actually show you like your average damage per episode and just play through it so you can kind of just see it. Kind of cool.
That's
I
cool.
haven't got a chance to play with it. I will soon though. And you can see his total damage done is growing towards that average as well. So this one's just kind of cool. And then, we always have to look at Fireball, whatever. And then, so I don't know. I'm gonna throw this out there. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like even though, as we discussed earlier, the Minotaur is a bit homebrewed or seemed a bit homebrewed, I don't see the Minotaur being up there with giant amount of health. I don't know how you guys
Oh,
feel
no,
about
no,
that.
no, no.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So as far as this funnel chart, I don't see him jumping up. I definitely see him more than like. Oh, see, we have this Minotaur right here. Or was that the Minotaur, right?
Yeah.
Did Reed get the opportunity attack? Is that what happened there?
Yeah, he did. He got an opportunity attack, and that was
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So I don't see the Minotaur staying at this point. I could see him up a little higher, but it's just one. Or I don't know. Do you count the skeleton Minotaurs together?
Nah,
No.
that was they were separate.
All right.
They're somewhere on that. They're somewhere in that red.
They definitely are, and I was thinking they'd be like right around here, but I just kept the shadows there, so I guess they have to be higher than the shadow, right?
You could probably filter the episode.
Now
Or
you're talking
filter the,
crazy talk. We want to look through this
I
one at a
know.
time. Oh no! All right. Filter to the episode. Fine. An amazing layer. There you go.
There you
So Skeleton Minotaur at 226. Meanwhile, the Minotaur itself at 7 points of damage. Plus, we don't know if this thing heals, and we got to face a freaking carpet and suit of armor and something else, right?
And a flying sword.
A flying sword. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, when I filtered that, look at that. It's just crazy to me. Adrian Griswold's at the top. I'm a little jealous, but we'll get over it. And then Siddle's still pulling a Mordai, plucking Shatter and Ray of Frost in the back.
But fuck yeah, man.
I think Garrett laughed more at the Mordai comment than the anything else there.
I was appreciating everything else. I like to listen and take it in, but the Mordai is entertaining to me. Now that it is called the Mordai.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a verb now, right? You can Mordai. I'm gonna Mordai this guy, and we all know what that means.
Know what that means? Yeah, that's he's
Just like
gonna
the Warwick
pop
someone
shot
is
him.
to take their house.
Yeah.
Eventually, Siddle will be known, or Fireball will be known as Siddling people.
Oh,
That's
there you
really
go.
my goal, is to just rename that spell in common, vernacular.
Not much crazy. I did look at some individual, not much else crazy. I did look at some individual stats, that type of stuff, and then that's when I thought, okay, if we had average or average attacks per encounter, or even attacks per encounter, something like that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I think we can do attacks per encounter if we put attacks on there, but then we'd need to do the average. Anyway, and I did look at the healing. I feel like Adrin heals someone every time just to get on the stats. I'm gonna be honest. I'm calling it
Maybe.
out. He just is like, crap, this session's almost over. I heal you.
He's a healing addict.
He is. He cannot help it. I have to heal people every time. And then he starts hitting people just to heal them.
That's an idea. That's an idea.
Let me just TPK my own party and then revivify. Secretly, Adrin's the big bad. We figured it out. Carl's corner.
You finally figured out. Here you thought it was Siddle the whole time, or Dildo.
Yeah, Mr. Shaggins. It still may be Mr. Shaggins. You don't know if Mr. Shaggins and Adrin are actually in on it together. That's all I'm saying.
That.
I saw the way they looked at each other when they were close. Mm-hmm.
Poker face.
That's how you wake Lady Gaga up. I think we have to end on that joke. I'm just saying.
Seems like as good a place as any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can go anywhere else from that.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back Sunday, maybe, hopefully, this weekend for another session in which we destroy some furniture. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Yeah.